Tests are not sent to break you, but to raise you. Each obstacle in your life is a step designed by Allah to strengthen your faith and expand your heart. What seems like loss today may be the very thing that secures your success tomorrow. With every hardship, Allah is shaping you into someone greater, polishing your soul and building for you a crown of honor that this world cannot offer. Struggles are signs that Allah is preparing you for something far beyond what you can imagine. Tests often feel like they are tearing down the walls of your life, but in reality, they are breaking down barriers that prevent your soul from growing. What falls apart outside often strengthens what lies within. Allah allows tests to come your way to dismantle illusions. Sometimes we build walls of pride, comfort, or attachment, and trials arrive to break them, leaving space for faith to take root. When hardship arrives, it may shatter your plans, but it builds your patience. Each difficulty trains your heart to endure, shaping your soul into something far stronger than before. A test may strip away what you cling to most, not to harm you, but to redirect your heart toward Allah. When the walls of worldly reliance fall, the soul learns to lean only on Him. Painful trials often demolish arrogance. When walls of pride are broken, humility takes their place, and humility is what beautifies the believer in the sight of Allah. Tests remove false security. They break the illusion that we are in control, reminding us that true strength is not in our hands, but in Allah's mercy. Every test clears away the walls of distraction. It silences the noise of the world and forces the soul to remember its Creator, opening doors to sincere reflection. When walls of ease collapse, the soul discovers hidden treasures. Gratitude, patience, and resilience emerge, qualities that are only born through struggle. Tests break the walls of attachment to this world. What you lose in this life often becomes a reason for Allah to grant you something eternal in the next. When hardship strikes, it may feel like everything is collapsing, yet your soul is being rebuilt in secret. Faith grows stronger in moments where walls are broken. A test may remove comfort but add clarity. What seems like loss reveals what truly matters: your connection with Allah and the purity of your heart. The walls of selfishness crumble through hardship. Trials often teach us to think of others, to extend kindness, and to support those who suffer as we do. When walls of despair threaten to rise, tests remind you that Allah's help is always near. What seems like the end may be the moment your soul begins anew. A believer's soul is not built in comfort but in challenge. Just as muscles strengthen under pressure, the soul is elevated through hardship. Tests expose weaknesses that need healing. By breaking down what is fragile, Allah builds resilience that cannot be shaken by worldly storms. When hardship humbles you, it raises you. The walls that fall around you are replaced with doors that lead to greater strength, wisdom, and faith. A broken plan is not the end. Often, Allah breaks down walls to build pathways you never imagined, leading your soul to heights you never thought possible. Tests purify the soul. They strip away sins, pride, and distractions, leaving behind a heart more focused on Allah, and that purity is more valuable than gold. Through trials, the walls of fear are dismantled. Faith takes over, teaching the soul that Allah is greater than any challenge, and reliance on Him is true safety. The pain of loss may feel crushing, but it shapes compassion. A soul that has suffered understands others deeply and becomes a source of mercy. When Allah breaks walls, He is not abandoning you. He is preparing your soul to stand tall without depending on what could never last. Tests turn the soul inward. They remind you that true beauty is not in what surrounds you, but in what grows within you. Patience, faith, and sincerity. The walls of comfort may fall, but the soul learns resilience. It discovers strength in prayer, solace in remembrance, and hope in Allah's promises. Every broken wall leaves space for light. Trials carve out openings in the heart where Allah's guidance enters, shaping the believer into someone radiant. Tests that break walls are blessings in disguise. They do not destroy you, they rebuild you. They turn fragility into faith, sorrow into strength, and hardship into honor before Allah. Pressure in life often feels unbearable, but in Allah's design, it is the very force that shapes strength. Just as coal under pressure becomes a diamond, your soul under trials becomes radiant. When responsibilities weigh heavily, Allah is teaching you resilience. Every moment of endurance builds power inside you, power that cannot be taken away by worldly challenges. Pressure reminds you that you cannot rely solely on yourself. It pushes you to lean on Allah, and in that reliance lies a strength greater than anything you could find alone. The greatest growth does not happen in ease, but in discomfort. Pressure squeezes out weakness and reveals the hidden capabilities Allah placed within you. When life feels overwhelming, remember that Allah never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear. That very weight is proof that He sees you capable of carrying it. Pressure is a test of patience. If you respond with sabr, it transforms into spiritual energy, lifting you higher and empowering you in ways ease never could. Sometimes pressure isolates you from people, but in that solitude, Allah draws you closer to Him. That closeness becomes the source of your true power. Pressure exposes what lies in the heart. A believer who responds with faith discovers strength, rooted not in circumstances but in trust in Allah's plan. The stories of prophets are filled with pressure, yet through every trial they found power in their connection with Allah, showing us that pressure is not a curse but a pathway. When pressure builds, dua becomes stronger. Your prayers are more heartfelt, more sincere, and more powerful because desperation opens the door of connection. Pressure forces you to grow in silence. While others see only the surface, your soul is expanding, learning patience and building reliance on Allah. The believer's power is not in avoiding pressure, but in enduring it with grace. That endurance becomes a shield, protecting the heart from despair. Through pressure, you learn gratitude. Even small blessings shine brighter when you endure hardship, and this gratitude strengthens your spirit. Pressure refines character. It teaches humility, compassion, and mercy, qualities that make you more powerful in influencing and uplifting others. When Allah places pressure on you, it is not to crush you, but to prepare you. Just as a seed breaks under soil to grow, your soul breaks barriers to flourish. Pressure is temporary, but the strength it builds is lasting. Once the trial passes, the power remains, guiding you through the rest of your journey. Even the strongest steel is forged under heat and pressure. Likewise, Allah molds believers through hardship, crafting souls that shine with resilience. Pressure reminds you of your limits, but also of Allah's limitless mercy. When you turn to Him, you discover a power that carries you beyond those limits. When you face pressure with patience, Allah replaces fear with courage. Your heart learns to stand firm, unshaken by what once overwhelmed you. Pressure often comes before blessings. Many times, the darkest moments precede the brightest openings, proving that Allah is preparing you for something greater. The believer's true strength is revealed under pressure. While others may collapse, she rises because her foundation is built on faith, not on circumstances. Pressure is not wasted. Every tear, every sleepless night, every silent endurance is counted by Allah and transformed into spiritual elevation. When Allah turns pressure into power, you realize that your past struggles were training. They prepared you for responsibilities, blessings, and heights you could not have handled before. Pressure may bend you, but it does not break you when Allah is with you. Instead, it builds a resilience that makes you unstoppable in faith. pressure is a gift disguised as hardship. It transforms weakness into strength, despair into hope, and an ordinary believer into someone extraordinary in the sight of Allah. Struggles often arrive quietly, without announcement, yet they carry within them hidden rewards. Every hardship endured with patience raises you in ways unseen by the world but recognized by Allah. Many times your rank with Allah is lifted not through grand actions but through the quiet endurance of pain, disappointment or loss. Struggles polish the soul in silence. Silent struggles are powerful because only Allah knows them. While people may not notice your tears or sacrifices, He records every moment of patience and builds your elevation. The beauty of silent elevation is that it purifies intention. When no one knows your pain, your reliance rests solely on Allah, making your faith sincere and unshakable. Every hardship is an opportunity for closeness. When the world does not understand, your silent conversations with Allah become your greatest strength. Silent struggles teach humility. They remind you that not everything needs to be shared or seen because the one who matters already knows. The Quran tells us that Allah is with the patient. This companionship during silent endurance is itself an elevation higher than worldly recognition. Silent struggles often save you from pride. They strip away the need for approval, leaving your heart focused only on the reward from Allah. Every hidden tear strengthens your dua. The prayers whispered in solitude rise to the heavens with a weight greater than spoken words. Silent struggles refine the soul. They burn away arrogance, cleanse the heart, and nurture qualities like patience, mercy, and gratitude. When you endure silently, you inspire others unknowingly. People may not see your pain, but they feel your strength, and it gives them hope. Silent elevation is not about ignoring pain but channeling it into growth. It is choosing to let hardship shape you rather than shatter you. Each test endured quietly is like a seed planted in the soil. Though unseen, it grows roots that one day bear fruits of honor and peace. Allah raises those who trust Him in silence. While the world applauds visible success, He honors hidden patience with eternal reward. Silent struggles sharpen resilience. They teach you to stand firm without needing validation, relying only on the unseen strength Allah provides. Your greatest spiritual promotions often come in the silence of the night, through tears nobody sees, but Allah counts with mercy. Silent struggles teach the art of contentment. They remind you to find joy in small blessings while waiting for bigger openings from Allah. Enduring quietly prevents harm. By avoiding complaints or anger, you protect relationships and safeguard your dignity. Silent elevation is often felt in peace. Even in difficulty, Allah places tranquility in the hearts of those who trust Him, raising them above their struggles. When you suffer in silence, you join the legacy of the prophets. They bore trials with patience, and their quiet endurance became their source of greatness. Silent struggles are honored with forgiveness. Every hardship wipes away sins, leaving the believer purified and elevated in status. Allah tests in silence to prepare you for honor in public. What you endure privately becomes the reason for blessings that astonish others later. Silent elevation makes you grateful. Once the trial passes, you realize how much strength Allah placed within you, and you thank Him for the growth. Even when nobody notices, every second of silent struggle is written in your record. On the day of judgment, those unseen moments will shine as your crown. The silent elevation hidden in struggles is proof of Allah's mercy. He uses your pain to raise you, your patience to honor you, and your silence to prepare you for eternal success. Every hardship comes wrapped in mystery. At first it looks like only pain and loss, but within it lies a gift that only patience and faith can uncover. Hardship teaches lessons no comfort can provide. It forces the heart to grow, to let go of illusions, and to discover treasures of wisdom hidden beneath the surface. The secret gift in every trial is closeness to Allah. When ease makes us forget, hardship reminds us to turn back, building a stronger connection with our Creator. Hardship softens the heart. Tears shed in pain cleanse arrogance, making space for humility and compassion to flourish. Every difficulty polishes the soul. Just as fire purifies gold, hardship removes sins and mistakes, leaving behind a believer more refined and resilient. The gift may not be seen immediately. Often, years later, you realize how a struggle shaped your path, prepared you for blessings, or saved you from harm. Hardship creates strength. When you endure what you thought you couldn't, you discover a new level of resilience that becomes a lasting part of your character. The secret gift is often wisdom. Trials make you reflect, and reflection opens doors of understanding that ease alone could never teach. Hardship awakens gratitude. After tasting difficulty, even the smallest blessings feel like miracles, and this gratitude draws you closer to Allah. Every hardship expands perspective. It shows you the fragility of life, the emptiness of worldly pursuits, and the eternal value of faith. The gift may be hidden in relationships. Trials often reveal who truly stands by you and who does not, saving you from misplaced trust. Hardship teaches the value of dua. In desperation, you call upon Allah with sincerity, and that connection itself becomes the greatest gift. Every trial hides mercy. Sometimes Allah withholds what you want in order to give you something greater, something you could not have imagined. Hardship teaches patience, and patience is not weakness. It is a crown worn by those chosen by Allah for elevation in this world and the next. The secret gift is empathy. Experiencing pain allows you to understand others better, making you a source of comfort and healing. What hardship breaks pride and builds sincerity. When life humbles you, your worship becomes more genuine, and Allah loves sincerity. Every trial is a doorway. On one side is struggle, on the other side is growth, reward, and closeness to Allah. You only see the door when you walk through with faith. Hardship makes you see the temporary nature of life. It pushes you to seek lasting treasures in the hereafter, where no difficulty exists. The gift may be hidden in timing. A delay caused by hardship may protect you from something harmful or align you with something better. Every hardship carries the gift of forgiveness. Sins fall away with every moment of patience, leaving you lighter and purer. The gift may be resilience passed to others. Your endurance inspires family, friends, and even strangers who learn strength by watching you. Hardship strips away attachments. It reminds you that everything is temporary except Allah, and that realization is the greatest treasure. Every difficulty teaches surrender. It shows you that control is an illusion and that peace comes only in trusting Allah's plan. The secret gift of hardship is elevation. On the day of judgment, those who bore trials with patience will be honored like royalty before all creation. Every hardship carries a secret gift because Allah is most merciful. He never allows pain without purpose, loss without compensation, or struggle without reward. Waiting is not wasted time, it is a hidden classroom. In those quiet moments, Allah writes strength into your heart, teaching patience that transforms your soul. The world may see waiting as delay, but in reality it is preparation. What you ask for may not be ready for you, or you may not yet be ready for it. In waiting, faith is tested. Do you remain steadfast in prayer? Do you continue to trust Allah's timing? The strength is not in the outcome, but in the endurance. Moments of waiting polish character. They teach humility, reminding you that control belongs only to Allah and surrender is where peace lies. Every second of patience is recorded. The angels write your quiet trust as acts of worship, even if no one else sees the effort. Waiting shapes resilience. When you learn to carry uncertainty with calmness, you become unshakable in the face of life's storms. Waiting is when dua deepens, desperation turns into sincerity, and your prayers rise to the heavens with more weight than ever before. The strength gained in waiting is hidden. Only when the blessing arrives do you realize how much faith and patience you built along the way. Waiting teaches you to detach from worldly timelines. Instead of rushing with the world, you align your heart with Allah's perfect plan. It is in waiting that gratitude grows. You begin to appreciate small blessings and realize that every step forward is a gift, not a guarantee. Waiting reminds you of the hereafter. Life's delays show that true fulfillment is not in this world, but in the eternal rewards with Allah. Strength is built in silence. While others see nothing happening, your heart is growing, your faith is maturing, and your soul is learning surrender. Waiting humbles arrogance. It reminds you that success is not just effort, but divine timing, and that honor lies in patience. Patience in waiting removes bitterness. Instead of feeling deprived, you see the delay as a form of mercy, trusting that Allah withholds only to give better. Waiting opens your eyes to hidden blessings. You notice growth in yourself, clarity in your path, and protection from what could have harmed you. Every moment of waiting is a shield. It guards you from rushing into harm, keeping you safe until the right door opens. Strength in waiting comes from perspective. Believing that Allah never delays without wisdom makes the wait easier to bear. Waiting trains the heart to rely on Allah alone. When people cannot help and solutions are unclear, trust in Him becomes your strongest weapon. Patience in waiting erases sins. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that even a prick of a thorn removes sins. How much more when you endure long delays? Waiting teaches discipline. It curbs impulsiveness and replaces it with thoughtful choices that align with your values. The gift of waiting is self-awareness. In silence, you learn who you are, what you need, and how much you depend on Allah's mercy. Waiting builds empathy. Having experienced delay, you understand others' struggles more deeply and become a source of comfort for them. Strength is written in your restraint. While the world pushes you to hurry, your patience declares that your faith is stronger than your impatience. Waiting may seem like stillness, but it is movement of the heart. Every breath of patience is a step toward Allah's reward. Moments of waiting are not pauses in your journey, they are chapters of growth. In them, Allah writes strength, resilience, and wisdom that last far beyond the blessing you were waiting for. Pain is never meaningless in the life of a believer. Every difficulty carries wisdom, every struggle holds lessons, and every wound has the potential to elevate you to greater heights. When pain enters your life, it shakes your foundation, but instead of leaving you broken, it builds strength that could not have been formed in times of ease. Allah allows pain to refine the soul. Just as fire purifies gold, hardship removes arrogance, polishes the heart, and prepares it for blessings you cannot yet see. Pain often opens doors that comfort would have kept closed. It pushes you to change, to grow, and to seek Allah with sincerity. Your tears are not wasted. Every tear shed in patience is recorded by Allah, and every sigh of endurance becomes part of your crown of honor. Pain teaches you reliance. When no one else understands your struggle, you realize that Allah alone is sufficient, and in that reliance lies true strength. Through pain, you discover empathy. Your own suffering softens your heart, making you kinder and more merciful to others in their trials. Pain is not a punishment, but a preparation. It equips you with resilience, wisdom, and humility that elevate you in this world and the next. Sometimes pain removes attachments. What is taken from you may have been a barrier, and its absence opens space for Allah's blessings. Pain deepens dua, desperation brings sincerity, and sincerity turns prayers into powerful calls that rise directly to the heavens. The greater the pain, the greater the potential for growth. Struggles stretch your capacity, allowing you to become someone stronger than before. Pain reveals who you are. It uncovers patience you didn't know you had and strength you never imagined you carried. Allah promises that with hardship comes ease. Pain may darken your present, but it is often the doorway to a brighter and more elevated future. Pain humbles the soul. It strips away pride and leaves behind a heart that bows sincerely before Allah, seeking His mercy. The wisdom of pain is sometimes delayed. Only later do you realize that what hurt you most shaped you into who you were meant to be. Pain reminds you of your dependence on Allah. In your weakest moments, you experience His strength, and that connection becomes your greatest treasure. Through pain, your priorities shift. What once mattered loses its grip, and faith, family, and sincerity take their rightful place. Pain teaches gratitude. After enduring difficulty, even the smallest blessings become sources of immense joy and appreciation. When life breaks you with pain, Allah rebuilds you stronger. The cracks become places where His light enters, illuminating your soul. Every moment of pain wipes away sins. Each hardship endured with patience brings you closer to purification and raises your status in the hereafter. Pain is part of the training of prophets and the righteous. Their struggles prepared them for greatness, and your struggles prepare you for your own elevation. When pain isolates you, it also protects you. In solitude, you turn to Allah, and that closeness is the gift hidden in hardship. Pain strengthens your legacy. Those who watch your patience are inspired, and your endurance becomes a lesson that outlives you. The believer's journey is paved with pain, but every trial is a step upward. Each difficulty is a rung on the ladder that leads you closer to Allah. Pain prepares you for heights you could never reach without it. It is not the end of your story, but the chapter that leads you to greatness, both in this world and in the eternal life to come. Trials are not random interruptions. They are lessons written by Allah to prepare you for eternity. Every hardship endured with patience becomes part of your eternal success. When you face trials, you are being trained to rely on Allah completely. This training prepares you for the ultimate meeting with Him on the Day of Judgment. Eternal life is not built on comfort but on endurance. Each trial you pass with sabr becomes a building block for your eternal home in paradise. Trials strip away arrogance. They remind you that this life is temporary and that your real destination is a place where pain no longer exists. When trials come, they remind you that the world is not Jannah. They train you to detach from fleeting pleasures and to long for eternal reward. Trials purify. Every hardship wipes away sins, leaving your record lighter and your soul more prepared for eternity. Trials are not barriers but stepping stones. Each one is a lesson, building patience, resilience, and humility that will serve you forever. When you endure trials, you are imitating the prophets, peace be upon them. Their hardships were training for leadership, and your trials are training for your eternal station. But trials are reminders of accountability. They push you to reflect, to seek forgiveness, and to align your life with what pleases Allah. Every sleepless night in pain is recorded. On the Day of Judgment, those hours will shine as proofs of your endurance, raising you in ranks. Trials awaken gratitude. you learn to value blessings you once ignored, and gratitude itself becomes a key to eternal reward. When you are tested, your dua becomes sincere. These prayers are part of your eternal preparation, linking your heart directly with Allah. Trials teach contentment. Accepting Allah's decree builds trust, and trust is a shield that protects you in this world and the next. Every hardship is training in patience, and patience is a crown that will be placed on the heads of the believers in the hereafter. Trials teach you to see beyond the moment. You realize that pain now is a small price for eternal joy later. Through trials, Allah teaches resilience. The ability to keep going despite setbacks is a quality that earns His love and eternal reward. Trials are classrooms of humility. They remind you that your strength is limited, but Allah's mercy is limitless. When you endure quietly, your unseen patience is written as acts of worship. On the day of judgment, these silent moments will carry great weight. Trials show you who truly matters. While people may abandon you, Allah remains, training your heart to rely on Him alone. The more severe the trial, the greater the potential elevation. Your pain today may become the reason for your eternal crown tomorrow. Trials protect you from greater harm. What feels like loss in this world may be saving you from eternal regret. When you look back in the hereafter, you will thank Allah for every trial. What seemed unbearable will appear as a gift that lifted your rank. Trials are the polishing of the soul. They remove sins, strengthen character, and prepare you to meet Allah with a purified heart. Each trial patiently endured is a treasure waiting for you in paradise. No effort, no tear, no pain is ever lost in Allah's sight. Trials are your training for eternity. They are not meant to break you, but to mold you into someone worthy of eternal honor in the presence of Allah. Endurance is not weakness, it is strength hidden in patience. Every moment you choose to remain steadfast through hardship is another jewel added to your crown in the sight of Allah. Life's pressures are heavy, but endurance polishes your heart. Just as a crown is crafted with precision and effort, your honor is shaped through the difficulties you bear. The crown of endurance is not visible to people. They may see your struggle, but not the strength Allah is building within you. Endurance teaches you that true dignity is not in escaping trials, but in rising above them. That dignity becomes part of your eternal crown. Every sigh of patience is recorded. Angels witness your endurance and write it as acts of worship, decorating the crown you will wear in the hereafter. Endurance transforms pain into elevation. It turns suffering into resilience and weakness into strength that lasts forever. Your hidden crown grows not through ease but through hardship. Each test is like a craftsman's tool, shaping your soul into something radiant. Endurance purifies your intentions. When you remain steadfast without recognition, it proves that your patience is for Allah alone. The beauty of endurance is that it raises you silently. While others may not notice, Allah is preparing a crown of honor only He can bestow. Through endurance, you learn the art of surrender. You realize that control belongs to Allah and peace comes in trusting His decree. Every crown in this world fades, but the crown of endurance shines eternally. It is a reward reserved for those who bore trials with patience. Endurance gives you unseen strength. What you think will break you often becomes the very thing that defines your power. Through endurance, you inspire others. Your quiet strength becomes a reminder to those around you that faith can withstand any storm. The crown forged through endurance is heavier in value than gold. Its weight is measured in patience, trust, and submission to Allah's will. Endurance is not passive. It is an active choice to stay firm, to keep praying, and to trust even when nothing seems to change. The trials you endure become part of your legacy. People may forget your ease, but they will remember your strength in hardship. Endurance reveals the depth of your faith. It shows that your love for Allah is not dependent on ease, but remains firm even in pain. Your hidden crown grows brighter with every act of restraint. Holding your tongue, calming your anger, and bearing quietly are all jewels added to it. Endurance builds character. It shapes humility, compassion, and wisdom traits that outshine temporary achievements. The crown of endurance is promised in the Quran. Allah says He is with the patient and His companionship is greater than any worldly honor. Through endurance, you discover resilience you never thought possible. That resilience becomes a treasure both in this world and the next. The crown forged by endurance is not for show. It is worn in the hereafter when the patient are elevated above others for their silent sacrifices. Endurance shields you from despair. By trusting Allah's wisdom, you remain hopeful even when the world feels heavy. The crown of endurance is hidden now but will be revealed later. On the day of judgment, the world will witness the honor Allah grants to those who remained steadfast. Endurance is the path to true royalty. The hidden crown it forges is not temporary but eternal, a sign of Allah's love and reward for those who bore life's trials with patience. Struggles are not signs of Allah's anger but of His care. They are the chisels that carve your soul, shaping you into the person He knows you can become. Every hardship reveals layers of yourself you never knew existed. Patience, resilience, and faith are hidden until struggles bring them to light. Struggles strip away illusions. They remove the false comforts of this world, showing you where true strength lies in your connection with Allah. When life feels heavy, it is often Allah preparing you for a bigger responsibility. The struggle is training, shaping you for the role He has written for you. Struggles humble the heart. They remind you that without Allah you are powerless, and with Him you can withstand anything. Each challenge reshapes your priorities. Through pain, you learn what matters most: faith, family, kindness, and the pursuit of Allah's pleasure. Struggles are mirrors. They reflect your weaknesses, your strengths, and the areas of your soul that need nurturing and healing. When you endure struggles, you grow in silence. The world may not see your transformation, but Allah sees every step of your journey. Struggles build empathy. By experiencing pain, you learn to be gentle with others and to extend mercy to those who suffer. Every struggle is a stepping stone. It may feel like a setback, but in truth, it is moving you closer to the person Allah wants you to be. Struggles deepen your connection to dua. Desperation makes you call on Allah with sincerity, and those prayers shape your heart. Through struggles, you learn resilience. The more you endure, the less fragile you become, and the more unshakable your faith grows. Struggles refine your intentions. When ease is taken away, your worship becomes purer, free from distractions and superficial motives. Struggles remind you of the hereafter. They show you that this life is temporary and that true peace is reserved for paradise. When struggles force you to change, they are not breaking you but molding you. Allah removes what harms you to build what will elevate you. Struggles test your patience. Every moment of endurance is an act of worship, shaping your soul and adding to your eternal reward. Struggles prepare you for empathy-driven leadership. Those who endure pain often become the most compassionate guides for others. Struggles open doors to wisdom. Each hardship teaches lessons that ease could never provide, shaping your decisions and your outlook. Every struggle is part of a bigger story. You may not understand it now, but Allah is writing a chapter that fits perfectly into your destiny. Struggles soften arrogance. They remind you that your strength is limited and that your success is only through Allah's mercy. Struggles cleanse your sins. Every difficulty you endure with patience removes burdens from your record, preparing you for forgiveness. Through struggles you discover courage. Fear turns into faith and hesitation turns into reliance on Allah's plan. Struggles make you grateful. What once seemed ordinary becomes precious after experiencing difficulty, and gratitude transforms your heart. Struggles shape you into a testimony of resilience. Your story becomes a source of hope for others who see how Allah carried you through. Struggles are not the end of you, they are the making of you. They shape you into the believer Allah knows you can be, preparing you for both this world and the eternal life to come. Hardship is never wasted in the life of a believer. Allah uses it as a tool to elevate you from an ordinary existence to a life of depth, strength and closeness to Him. When Allah places hardship in your path, it is not to crush you but to break the limitations you've placed on yourself. It stretches your heart beyond what you thought possible. Hardship forces you to turn inward. In those silent battles, your soul grows stronger and Allah writes for you rewards that the world cannot measure. The ordinary path is comfort, but hardship pulls you to extraordinary heights. It shifts your reliance from people to Allah, and that shift is life-changing. Hardship awakens your purpose. The struggles you face are often the very experiences that prepare you to guide, help, or inspire others. Allah uses hardship to train your patience. Patience is not just waiting, it is worship in silence. And it is this worship that lifts you above the ordinary. When hardship strips away ease, it replaces it with resilience. And resilience is the mark of extraordinary believers who endure with dignity. Hardship refines your vision. What once distracted you loses its value, and what truly matters, faith, sincerity, and worship, takes center stage. The prophets, peace be upon them, were tested with immense hardship. Their struggles became their strength, lifting them as examples for all generations. Hardship humbles you in a way comfort never could. This humility opens doors of wisdom, making you extraordinary in your insight and compassion. Every hardship endured for Allah is rewarded. The hidden blessings in those moments are often far greater than the blessing you were waiting for. Hardship gives depth to your dua. A heart in pain calls upon Allah with a sincerity that ordinary ease rarely inspires. Through hardship, Allah makes you an example. Your patience becomes a silent sermon, showing others how to endure with faith. Hardship shifts your identity. You are no longer just someone living life. You become someone who carries strength, wisdom, and reliance on Allah. Ordinary days may pass unnoticed, but days of hardship are written with special honor. Each struggle elevates your record in ways beyond human comprehension. Hardship breaks illusions. It teaches you that control is with Allah alone. And this realization is a gift that lifts you to extraordinary closeness. Through hardship, Allah teaches gratitude. What you once overlooked becomes precious, and that gratitude transforms your entire outlook. Hardship prepares you for roles you didn't expect. The lessons learned in pain often equip you to lead, to heal, and to serve. Every hardship reveals new qualities. You may discover courage, empathy, or resilience that you never realized lived within you. Hardship gives you stories that inspire others. Your endurance becomes a beacon of hope for those who think they cannot survive their trials. Allah uses hardship to polish your heart. He removes arrogance, wipes away sins, and leaves behind a soul ready for elevation. The extraordinary believer is not made in ease but in difficulty. Hardship is the furnace in which faith is solidified and character is molded. Hardship often precedes blessings. Allah delays what you want so that when it arrives, you are strong enough to handle it with gratitude. When Allah lifts you through hardship, the world may not understand your transformation, but your heart knows it has been reshaped by His mercy. Hardship is Allah's way of carrying you beyond the ordinary. It turns pain into power, trials into treasures, and believers into extraordinary souls honored in this world and in the hereafter. Every struggle you endure is a sign that Allah sees potential in you that you may not yet see in yourself. Do not let trials discourage you. Let them remind you that you are being raised in rank. What feels heavy today will one day be a source of pride when you stand before Allah. Hold on to patience, continue your prayers, and never lose hope, because the crown being prepared for you is worth every hardship. The world may not recognize your struggle, but Allah never lets a single tear go to waste.